magical steam. Yep, slow and steady. They coming to pick you up. They're like, it's okay, we got this. We got this, yeah. So things are about to start coming back to life. Somebody was, hey. So whatever energy somebody was sending to you out of ego or whatever they was doing here, it's giving like.
Got more bikies in town these days, don't we, people?
Okay, because you had to go to the storm to protect your treasures here. Alright, but because you still shining bright like a diamond though, and we got rescued though, and she's standing here again, the same chick.
Bikies come into town like they're cockies and galahs, eh?
Try to destroy everything around you.
Now I want to talk about people like the shit stir in a minute.
Emotions or something.
Yes, they have not been planted. It's got time. Wait for things.
Something about a rainbow?
Yeah, rainbow. I've got a few rainbows actually recorded. A little while back. You think that's funny? What's so funny about that? But anyway. If you're on drugs, you'd think that's funny. People on drugs act like that. Or super high energy, as you can call it.
That's what you had to do. Okay? Somebody could be in their ego, like, say your friend called you, like, bro, like, why you not answering the phone, bro? Like, why you being weird? Energy? Because you was fucking doing this? What the fuck? You was under attack? What the fuck? What kind of energy?
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, I gotta...
She thinks that's funny too.
I gotta sit on this A energy. I gotta protect myself. Hold the fuck up. Hold the phone energy. So, you could've, look.
Hey, Frankie!
Treasures hidden in the shadows. Because somebody tried to put you like some sort of light out so you couldn't find a way out. Like, cause she's in a fucking cave, bro. Somebody's trying to put you in the darkness. Alright? And have you all in your feels or something like that.
Now, we'll talk about darkness and drugs soon, as this will lead up to something. That's why I'm doing this record. This one I went back on for a second, for a minute or two.
Somebody is shocked right now. The information leaving somebody shook. They could even be having an out of body experience right now. Like somebody like, oh my god, like are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, this childish person thought this would be funny, or they could be laughing, or they were laughing about this, or whatever. They thought this would be funny.
That's no good.
To put you in a position where as though how you gonna get out, but this is what you could have chosen. You had to be guarded.
How are you going to get out? Now, have you heard what she's speaking about before we come to a point in a minute?
Somebody being very childish, trying to get you kicked out behind the scenes. Somebody all in their feelings because they are binded to something now that they got to see something from a higher perspective here. So somebody that you were protecting yourself from, somebody that was being very childish here, you was very guarded over your heart, and somebody could have been acting stupid or started getting childish about something. Yeah, so it says somebody was in their ego because there's a possibility for a union, but radical acceptance of something here. Somebody was supposed to the beloved energy, right timing. Okay, it wasn't the right something had to be right for a certain time or right timing. It wasn't. Somebody was supposed to wait until the wheel turned before something. Now they don't get their feelings here due to their toxic family dynamic here, trying to keep them stuck in the past. They could have been doing black magic. So this is giving. This is like because you know the wealthy man and the privileged lady are a couple. If there was a possibility for a union, somebody started doing black magic.
They're starting to talk about magic and everything, and as far as I'm concerned, they're just spreading propaganda. And if it was real, you can't do nothing about it in this world because of propaganda. So we're going to leave the magic. If you know about magic, that's a self thing. And if you know about it and it's real, well, good for you. You got an upper hand on the sheep out there, as they're pretty pathetic and never really research anything for real. It's propaganda, and their work keeps them in line. Now, I want to talk about drugs. And why did our government here make up drug rooms where people can go have high drugs or any drug, I guess, but they mostly talk about the high drugs. So I guess if people go in there and have bongs, they should be all right, because a drug's a drug. And they can go in there and they can test the drug too to make sure that their dealer has not put extra stuff in there that's too dangerous, right? Or what type of drug is it? And the government will test it for them for free. How's that? Government does all these benefits for certain areas. Now, why does the baddest drug get the most benefit? They even get their drugs given to them in another form from the doctors themselves, so they don't need such a drug. And then they're hooked on that, and that's the problem where the government got to. They've only sold them to not want to go rob you to get money. So the government's gone, well, how can we stop these robberies always happening, as these people need a lot of this drug that's very expensive as they get used to it, right? And how are we going to have a place where they can feel safe, and we can show that we'll let some things go as we'll get in too much crime, to slow back the crime and to look around and do another test and to help find things, right, and follow things. There's always a reason why someone does something, right? And so when it comes to people on drugs, the higher they're on the drug, the more likely you don't want them to all of a sudden relapse and not get it, because they'll crack it. They'll go through withdrawals. They'll go through all sorts of problems. And for them to stop that problem, you'll either be out in the street and be a crackhead and going crazy, as we've seen around here. I've talked about people on bikes yelling out shit, right? Hey, the devil, and all this kind of crap. And they go to the hospital, which takes more taxpayers' money. Or you allow them to get something that's cheap and not bad for everybody and cause problems, until you can able to fix the problem through helping and education in this other parts of the system, right? Now, we all know all these parts of the system are perhaps failing, as if you have such a system running and all you're getting is more drug problems, then there you go, it's failing. It doesn't work what they do, and they need a change. Will they change? Well, hopefully, if they've started something, you might as well keep going, because usually if you start something and back out, you might look like an idiot like the Americans in the Vietnam War, right? They look like a complete bunch of idiots, thought they can go in there and sort out shit, just cause the problem, and then problem for themselves and their own people and deaths, and pulled out, right? So when it comes to the government out there, they're meant to do certain things at right steps. But instead, when they want to control or bullies and bad guys, they will pull drugs off people real quick and bully people to control them. Isn't that sad? Now, you let me know in comments, how would you approach such a bad drug problem that you have in all sorts of drugs, and who should get rights and who shouldn't? The ones on lower drugs should have more rights than the ones on the heaviest drugs, or the ones on the heaviest drugs should have more rights than the lowest? If it's the one with the heaviest drugs should have more rights, do you believe that the people on the lowest drugs might be picked on and all that, like the mid-class think when they have to pay for everything, right? Might go on to the higher drugs so they can get more help? Do you think that's making things better, or going backwards in a way? Would you think you can give just as much help or more help for people on lower drugs as they step down? They get more benefits? Wouldn't that make sense? But what sense do you see out there, people, when it comes to the government and how they do things? Or when you see bullies or people who control people with drugs, like crackheads control their people who love crack, right? Those dealers. But anyway, to fix that problem, the government did one step by at least making another available drug, which you see all these druggos who are on high drugs go to see their doctor, and then their doctor becomes their dealer. But how do we fix that? We have psychology and all the rest of the things, or we have lower things to put them onto until we get to the lowest point, right? First you're down, sometimes getting off a big drug straight away is probably not a good thing, and that's why they get pills, and that's called downgrading drugs till it's a lower little drug until you're off, like getting off alcohol with a percentage of alcohol in your drink. Have a good one, everybody, and see you later.